Good morning to everyone in Germany, Ukraine, and maybe other places. Welcome to our AHK Ukraine Talk this morning. We are broadcasting from our studio at the office in Kiev, and I am joined this morning by Vira Savchenko, who is the CEO of BDO in Ukraine. BDO in Ukraine, that's 230 staff members, employees. They provide audit, tax, advisory, and business services. And thank you, Vira, for suggesting the topic of today's talk. You suggested that we talk about business development in frontline regions, a topic that is quite frequently overlooked by business organizations like ours. So thank you for reminding us of this important issue. We have agreed on covering three topics within this overarching topic of business development in frontline regions. Number one is present challenges, logistics, workforce retention, infrastructure. Number two is support mechanisms that are in place. And number three is prospects for German-Ukrainian cooperation in localized recovery projects, especially PPPs and blended finance. And the listeners in Germany and Ukraine, you are welcome, of course, to ask questions or contribute to our discussions using the chat function of Zoom. So, Vira, let's get going.
Hello, Rainer. Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you very much for to be interested in this topic. Let me start from the terminology, what we call frontline region. Even Kiev region, not Kiev city, Kiev region, it is a frontline. Sumy, Chernihiv, Kharkiv, Dnipro, Zaporizhia, Mykolaiv, Kherson, Odessa, all these regions, they called frontline. For example, Odessa. In Odessa region, there is no direct frontline, but Odessa is close to Transnistria, where Russian forces are. Odessa has a long sea line where Russian ships can be, and they are. So Odessa is also front line. So it's not like straightforward. The regions which are near the front line, they are front line. No, they are not.
So Kiev Oblast is also a front line region, but Kiev city not.
Yeah, because Kiev Oblast was occupied. So regions which were occupied and then they occupied, they need more investments into recovery, and they called frontline. Yeah. So when you speak with foreigners about investments in Ukraine, about doing business in Ukraine, of course, it's very difficult to persuade to look on Ukraine from business perspective. But when you start to speak about frontline, it's much more difficult. It's 10 times difficult, of course, because of security risks. And there are not only security risks. Supply chains are broken. We have structural unemployment in these regions because a lot of IDPs come to frontline regions from occupation, and a lot of people from these regions keep living in Ukraine.
IDP, internally displaced persons, people, for some of our listeners. Yeah.
Yes, so and people with needed skills, they are leaving these regions for safer regions, and the internal displaced people, they are coming to Kharkiv, to Dnipro, to big cities, and they're looking for jobs, and they may not found it because, for example, if they're coming from Donetsk regions, there are miners, and there are no mines like in Zaporizhia, for example. So there are a lot of problems in these regions, but there are a lot of opportunities. We will talk about later about opportunities. I want to say a little bit about problems, just to be clear, just to be transparent, that no one has any illusions. In some regions the bombing are quite very heavy. You see news from Kharkiv, you see news from Zaporizhia, so situation there very, very bad. Now we have problems with electricity. For example, in Chernihiv we had a blackout for more than 20 hours. So let's say business conditions are much more tougher than in Western regions. But people and businesses are very agile and adjustable. So I would say that there can be business opportunities, and maybe we can discuss more.
Well, I mentioned, well, you mentioned unemployment. Unemployment is higher, and I understand that unemployment is higher also because of the fact that you sometimes have a mismatch between skills and demands.
Yeah.
And therein, obviously, also lies a chance or an opportunity for other companies.
Yeah. So, for example, let's take city of Pavlograd. It's a city with, I don't know, 50 kilometers from the front line. It's in the Dnipro region. Now, population of Pavlograd is higher than pre-war level. So, from the opportunities, it's a bigger market for retail, bigger market for other industries. But from the industrial point of view, they have very high unemployment because engineers, people with the needed specialization for businesses in this region, in this city, they left, and people who come in last 2 years to Pavlograd, they have different skills. So this problem of reskilling, of upskilling people, it's very, very important in frontline regions. And we are very lucky that Ukraine has support from international partners, especially from Germany, and there are a lot of reskilling and upskilling opportunities in frontline regions.
No, you're saying that you were talking about internally displaced people that have gone to places like Pavlograd, and that it's not quite in the public perception, really, especially not in Germany. And most people would think that everybody went to Lviv.
No.
So people go to the place that they know best, or many people go to a place that they know well. People from the east, they go to Pavlograd because they went there for weekends.
Yeah, that's true, completely true. Because of course, some people are leaving country, some people are going to Western regions. But now what we see in last year, when people are coming to places where they used to be, where they know what is the surrounding, where they can find job, and so on and so on. So in Dnipro, in Zaporizhzhia, it's very difficult to find to rent a flat. In Kharkiv also, so population is growing. And
quite amazing. But is it also that companies have relocated to Pavlograd and Dnipro? Companies from occupied regions?
Not much. Sometimes internal displaced persons, they open like new companies, they open like small companies, micro business, or they became a private entrepreneurs. But relocation of big industrial companies is quite challenging, and we do not see relocation from Donetsk region to Dnipro region. If a company decide to relocate, they would relocate to Western regions.
Yeah, okay. That's why Lviv region is booming.
Yeah. With logistics, with warehouses. Yesterday I had an opportunity to speak with big Ukrainian retailer, and they say that they are diversifying their warehouses, and they keep only 20% of their stocks in each warehouses, no more than 20%, and in different parts of Ukraine. So that may be a strategy, but not completely relocating these companies from Dnipro.
So that they don't lose as much once if a warehouse is hit. Yeah. Okay. Are we done with challenges at this point? Or
let's not talk about security challenges. We all know them. It's not a military program. Let's stick to business.
Well, of course, people are interested. I mean, what is artillery range these days? Do you know where?
I would say that 20 kilometers, it's the dark red zone. 50 kilometers, it's approximately it's red zone. 100 kilometers, it's as safe as in Kiev. So in Dnipro, which is approximately 100 kilometers from the front line,
well, that's a figure that I have heard also repeatedly. Is that 100 kilometers from the front line, that's pretty okay also for traveling. Then let's move on to the support mechanisms that there are in place for frontline regions.
I would say that there are opportunities for at Frontline region. They can be divided into few parts. So let's start from governmental support. Our Prime Minister Yuri Sviridenko just last week announced that all ministries, all governmental agencies, they will have special deputy responsible for frontline regions. So I think this procedure is not finished yet. It's in the implementation phase, but still it's a good sign that frontline regions will have a direct communication in all ministries, in all governmental bodies. And I think the problems of the frontline regions will be solved faster and in more efficient way. The second, I would say, financial support and tax incentives and other incentives from our government. Also, a few weeks ago, we saw the first example when production facility of tea company, they produce tea. It was hit by rocket, and the government reimbursed 80% of new equipment, of the cost of new equipment. And this program is now applicable to all frontline regions. All companies in processing industry, they can reimburse up to 80% of cost of new equipment if they want to rebuild, but not. But the limit is 16 million hryvnias. It's not big, but it's not small amount, and it's good to start to test the program. Also, loan program 579 for frontline regions. There is a period with 0% for first 3 years. It's also quite good for businesses to restart or to continue or to start some new activities. The second cluster of opportunity, I would say, it's like from our history, from geography. For example, on the frontline regions, there are a lot of state-owned assets which are now our government want to sell. We have so-called big and small privatization. So a lot of industrial assets can be bought on ProZorro by this privatization program with really, really good discounts. It can be plants, it can be warehouses, it can be some production lines or which are state-owned, which are not which want to be in private hands. And I would also recommend for international players to look at our privatization because quite a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. How big is the discount, if you can say? Is there any way to judge this? I've heard maybe 30%. Is that something that you would? That sounds about right.
It's difficult because they all from different spheres. It can be production for, I don't know, for mining company. It can be production for some, I don't know, some agricultural things. So it's very difficult. But because of the high risks, they're selling at discount. Yeah. I can say numbers of one case where our company was advisors of privatization. We were advisors of selling UMCC titanium, and one of the big titanium mine in the world, and the cost was almost 4 billion hryvnias. We sell this to Azerbaijanese investor. I would say that in normal condition, our estimate would be like much higher in the peace
at least
world.
Twice as much, or
maybe even
more.
more. Yeah.
Okay, so that's quite a big discount of what, maybe 60-70%.
Yeah. It depends.
With corresponding risk, of course.
Yeah. So this is, in my opinion, a major opportunity. Then we already talked about internal displaced people. Also, a lot of opportunities in the retail sector. It's really, really big market. I think a lot of people from outside Ukraine, they do not understand how big Ukraine is. So, for example, Kharkiv, we all see Kharkiv in news, how bad situation in Kharkiv, but population in Kharkiv is 1 million people. 1 million is like, I don't know, half of the Slovenia, for example. It's really a lot. In Dnipro, last numbers which I saw, it's 800,000. But still it's big. Of course, situation in Kherson and Zaporizhia, it's not so good, but still people are returning to Kherson and Mykolaiv. And
is Dnipro's population also larger than pre-war at the moment, or
I think it's the same. The same. Yeah.
Some people left, or
some people
probably many people left actually, and many people came.
Yeah. So it's on the same level. So a lot of opportunities for retail, a lot of opportunities for consumer service, and I would say that service industry is now booming because you do not need big capex to launch any service business, and the people are opening from cafe restaurants to hairdresser salons to, I don't know, like any types of service. And also we didn't mention military people. They have holidays for 2 weeks every 6 months. They have just like weekends, and sometimes it's not efficient for them to go to Lviv or to other countries to see their families. They go to closest big city, and Dnipro is Dnipro, Kharkiv, Zaporizhia.
The families join them then?
Sometimes join, sometimes no. So in service industry for military people, from hospital, dental clinics, I don't know, some shops with military clothes, they're also booming on the frontline regions. It's a lot of opportunities for these industries.
So are there too many cafes in Dnipro now?
Yes, I would say too many.
So
they even start competing.
There might not be enough business for all of them. But for the consumer, it's nice.
Yeah.
I actually forgot to mention that you are from Dnipro.
Yeah.
You grew up in this city.
Yeah.
What is special about the region of Dnipro?
Dnipro is a very nice city. It's very green, with very good cultural heritage. Dnipro is in the center of Ukraine, and a lot of logistical routes are passing Dnipro, and because of this, I think business has a lot of opportunities in Dnipro. Also from Soviet Union, we had big production plants which are now also working. And
well, it is known to be the industrial hub of Ukraine, with companies like Interpipe and obviously Yuzhmash or Pivdenmash, I think as it is called in Ukrainian. Okay, are we through with the support mechanisms?
I would say that maybe let's talk a little bit about traveling. You mentioned traveling. Also, I think it's important to mention that you can travel to Dnipro from Poland. There are 2 direct routes from Przemysl and from Helm, direct trains to Dnipro. Also direct trains from Poland to Odessa, to Kharkiv. So frontline regions can be reached from Europe by direct connection.
Just takes a lot of time. And
do
the trains go through Kiev to Dnipro from
Przemysl, no, but from Helm, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And Odessa also and Mykolaiv, they are close to Moldavian border, to Romania, to southern countries, and it's quite easy to get there. So, and when you have a possibility to travel, you can see on your eyes how business is going, and it's much easier to start the business. So. Traveling is also an opportunity.
There is the questions have started to come in. Stefan Pyle, he asks, may I ask to list all the programs contacts to find a proper starting point? I'm in the engineering area and can help to bring back drained engineering skills for product development and manufacturing. I think we discussed this previously. Where do you find the information about the support mechanisms?
I would say that there is no like one top shop for all support mechanism. In terms of skilling and reskilling, I would advise to go to the website of Skills Alliance. It's an initiative which were initiated in Berlin during the Ukraine Recovery Conference by German Ministry of Economy and Ukrainian Ministry of Economy, and which has an aim to bring international expertise to reskill Ukrainian task force, and not all, but majority of the current programs are listed on the website. I can provide address and we can send it later.
There will be a follow-up email to the participants, and we can obviously put websites there. We can also maybe agree on a joint article for the members that cover the important topics of this conversation.
With some support mechanism, with important sites. Also, I was about to mention that our government made a special dedicated site about business on the frontline regions, where all support programs from government are mentioned. There are no like donor initiatives, but only governmental. But still, it's a good informational resource.
Okay, we put that website, that link in the notes that we send out after this event. Okay, so we've got about 9 minutes left, and let's look at the prospects for German-Ukrainian cooperation in localized recovery projects, especially PPPs and blended finance.
Thank you very much. It's very important question. So here we have like one problem. In Ukraine, our business has a very low capacity to prepare very good investment projects. And now there are few project preparation facilities exist. One from the government, there are few private initiatives, one from Ukraine Invest, one from ULEAD for municipalities. And now I would say that majority of businesses, of state companies which want to get financing, they are in terms of preparing projects. So regarding PPP, in Ukraine we now have passed, our government prepared and our parliament passed a new law on PPP, and all PPP projects are listed on special website. There are majority of them in the Odessa and Mykolaiv regions. They are like a concession of the ports, and perspectives are like really great, and I saw the interest from international investors in this project. So I think that we will see some new signing of concessions agreement in the nearest future. Also, our government choose so-called priority projects. There are like 200 plus projects, which will also go through PPP mechanism, where our government is looking for private investor either in Ukraine or outside of the country, and there will be a governmental component, donor component, and only with these three components working together, these projects can be implemented. There can be small projects, as small school in the village or small rehabilitation center, or some big projects like road reconstruction or some other like major infrastructural projects, bridge or something. So all these projects also are listed on our governmental website, and every interested investor can look at it, and our PPP agencies will be doing like a selection process, and more information is coming. So just my major information here that Ukraine is preparing a lot of PPP projects, and the reform just started, and we all hope that there will be a lot of opportunities.
And the information on the projects we will find on the agency's website?
Some of them on agency website, some of them on the Ministry of Economy website, and also we can provide links in our follow-up. Also, I would mention Ukraine Invest. They are working with private investors, and together with Ukraine Invest, me personally, my company, and other business association, European Business Association, we are doing this pro bono project. We are helping private companies to prepare their investment projects, and we made a so-called investment opportunity map, where all company, after screening and after project preparation, can put their investment projects. And if you go to this interactive resource, for example, in Dnipro regions, you can find 39 investment projects from different industries, from, I don't know, poultry production, glass production, like from all industries. This map can be used as a source of project, and the investors can just call to this company and contact them, or you can use it as indicative to see in which region, which sectors of economy are looking for financing, or how many, what is the ticket, or other information. So I would say that in next few years it will not work like in normal investor market, where investor can invest and receive his or returns, or usual return on investments. Successful investment in Ukraine really need governmental support, and there are a lot of mechanism of governmental support, not only from Ukrainian government but from foreign governments, which encourage their local investors to invest in Ukraine. So a lot of export credit agencies in different countries have opened mandate for Ukraine, and they provide insurance for foreign investments in Ukraine. So also, like, there are a lot of information on this topic, how different donors, different government supports international investments in Ukraine, and we can also provide this detailed country by country information in our follow-up.
Yeah, great. I think we should actually have an article on this. That will also be our publication coming up on the market, tax and legal affairs, which you're also contributing to. And there we cover basically all the aspects that we have covered now. So we have covered PPPs and blended finance.
By blended finance, I meant that what I was just referring, that there are a lot of mechanisms from different governments, and also from so-called development finance institutions, which are like very active in Ukraine, and with the contribution from development finance institution and maybe private investors, Ukrainian government and Ukrainian counterpart, really good projects can be implemented.
I'm looking at our clock, and well, if you listeners, the audience have questions, type them now, because we're going to close this session pretty soon. But I don't see anyone typing. What would be your? Do you have a closing pitch for your home place, Dnipro, and the Frontline regions for German business?
Invest in Ukraine, come to Ukraine, work with Ukraine, stand by Ukraine, stand with Ukraine. It's worth it. Risks are exaggerated. There are much more opportunities, and I truly believe in this in Ukraine than risks. So opportunities are like overcoming all these risks.
Okay, thank you very much, Vira, for a very interesting conversation here on a very interesting topic. Thank you all for being with us in Germany and Ukraine and other places. We wish you all a good Wednesday, and please don't log out too quickly, because we still have the feedback form. We would like your feedback on how we have been doing here, and of course we'd also like to hear suggestions for the next couple of talks. Actually, we have one upcoming that we agreed on. That will be with a new CEO of Ukraine Invest, probably in the second half of November. You will get the invitation, of course. Thank you very much. Stay on for the feedback. Thank you.